Actors Tax Hacks. Best practices for your financial spotlight. Listen, taxes may not be the most glamorous part of an actor's life, but mastering them can save you time, money, and stress. Whether you're juggling auditions, day jobs, or side hustles, staying on top of your finances is a must. So today, it's going to be a friendly, actor-focused guide to help you navigate the tax world, keeping your records organized, uncover hidden deductions, and avoid unwanted drama with the IRS. This is Casting Actors Cast.
Casting Actors Cast, what a show! With Jeffrey Dreisbach, we're ready to go. From agents to gigs, learn what you lack. Tune in every week, we're bringing you back.
We're going to kick off the show right after this. Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of Casting Actors Cast. I'm casting partner Jeffrey Dreisbach. This is the podcast for actors from a casting person. That would be me. Welcome. So glad that you're here. I love the subject because this is pretty timely, don't you think? We're kind of getting close to that tax due date. And so I thought, gosh, this is a very practical business kind of podcast today. These podcast videos are here to help you feel more comfortable and confident in all the areas of your acting. And so I'm glad to bring this information to you. I invite you to check out the website, Casting Actors Cast, alloneword.com. That's the website where you can find out about my book that's been released called Jeff's Jots, the Actor's Career Playbook. There's also a place that you can fill out the form that says dive into the talent pool. Wow. It gives me your name and your email address. I don't do anything with that. I might on occasion send out a quick little note about an upcoming episode, something like that. But I don't mess around with your bandwidth by spamming you with all kinds of stuff that's not helpful. So I only want to be helpful by giving you practical, useful, tangible information. So there's that on the website, castingactorscast.com. My email address, same thing, castingactorscast, except it's gmail.com. So you can do that as well. That's it. I don't want to, I've gotten a couple of emails from actors who've said, it's taken you a long time to get through all of that promotional stuff at the beginning. So you know what? I'm going to try. It's really hard. Change is hard sometimes, but I am going to try to just get right into the subject matter because your time is valuable. I know that, and I couldn't be more grateful that you're here. Please do consider a like and a share and a thumbs up if you would, especially a review on iTunes. That would be so incredibly helpful to me as I continue to put these podcasts, these podcast videos together. You can also see me on YouTube, by the way. You can watch me do these podcasts live on the air on YouTube, Casting Actors Cast channel. Thank you so much. All right, so let's talk about the IRS. My gosh, IRS, taxes, no! If you're anything like me, it's really, really hard to stay organized or to get organized and then stay organized. Sometimes you can set it all up, but then you got to remember to do it. You've got to remember to put it all together. So I've got, I think, some really valuable, helpful tips and suggestions so that you're going to be in a much better place. And so the first thing I want to share with you about this is to keep your paperwork in order. I think good tax preparation starts with a solid organization. So simply keep track of your income and expenses throughout the year. That's going to save you headaches come tax time. So I have a golden rule about that. Track everything. Like, for example, income. Save all your pay stubs, your W-2s, your 1099s, and even a cash payment record. For gigs without official paperwork, create a log of who paid you, how much, and when. That's income. But then we also have expenses. Hold on to receipts for anything related to your acting career. You know what? It could be like a $20 class or a $500 or a $1,000 headshot session. Document it. Those are tools that will help you in the tax preparation process. And speaking of tools to help stay organized, here are some suggestions. One, use some apps. Use apps like QuickBooks Self-Employed. There's also Expensify or Wave. That'll help you track expenses, and it'll also help you categorize some deductions. Here's another suggestion. Have a spreadsheet system. That's easy for you to say. A simple Excel or Google Sheets, those documents can work wonders. So it's a matter of all you need is some columns for your date, your description, your category, and your amount. That's it. Or if you want to jump in and do old fashioned analog, just have a folder or a binder and dedicate a physical folder or digital cloud folder if you still want to do, the digital thing. And all you do is use that folder for storing receipts, restoring invoices and tax documents, keeping it in one place. Here's a quick tip though. I think you could consider using your phone to take quick pictures of your receipts as soon as you get them. And then you simply upload them to your digital folder. Then you're not going to lose them. They're always going to be in one place. Getting into that habit will really help you big time. Moving on from there, let's take a moment to understand some deductions. What I call your best supporting role. Actors have unique expenses that they can be written off. So here's a breakdown of common and lesser known deductions. So here are some common deductions for actors. Obviously, classes and workshops. Acting workshops and voice lessons and dance classes directly relate to your craft. So that's a great deduction. Also, your headshots and your reels, the cost of headshots, demo reels, and even website hosting fees are deductible, including the printing of a resume. Also, what's deductible? Union dues. If you are a member of SAG-AFTRA, Actors Equity Association, or other performers union, your dues and initiation fees, they're deductible. Don't forget about agents and managers' fees. Commissions and fees paid to your representative can be written off. There's also some audition expenses. There's travel, there's parking, and there's material for auditions like, the printed sides. All are really fair game. There are a few hidden deductions that you might not be aware of. You might miss this. So let's talk about some additional deductions. Wardrobe. Costumes or clothing used specifically for performances or auditions, as long as it's not general clothing, unless it's clearly industry specific, like if you have a cop outfit or a pirate costume or something like that. But keeping that special audition wardrobe separate from your regular clothing, like I've mentioned in past podcasts, is absolutely all deductible. Makeup and grooming. Makeup or hairstyle expenses can be deducted if specifically used for performances or headshots. Streaming services, subscriptions to platforms like Netflix or Hulu, notice I said may be deductible if you're using them for research or audition preparation. Oh, let's talk about self-tape equipment. Purchases like lights and backdrops and cameras and microphones, they're all valid business expenses. Also, don't forget about coaching and consultations. Career coaching, dialect coaching, or consultation fees with casting directors, they are all deductible. Do you have a home office? If you regularly use a part of your home for self-tapes, audition prep, or administrative tasks, you can deduct a portion of your rent, your utilities, and your internet. I've got a pro tip for you. For meals, or let's just say coffee meetings with industry colleagues, just jot down the date, purpose, and who you met with on the receipt. Then, of course, as I suggested earlier, just take a picture of the receipt. Now you've got a place that is stored in. You will absolutely love that tip because, when you're preparing your taxes and you go to that folder and you see all of these additional expenses, I think you're going to be very, very happy. Now we have to move into another area about your taxes. I think it's valuable for you to know your status. Your tax status. See, oftentimes actors juggle various income sources. There are W 2s from perhaps some part time jobs and your 1099s from acting gigs. See, this combination makes filing taxes a little bit more complicated, but it is manageable with the right approach. Understand your income sources. So let's talk about W 2s for a minute. So, W 2 jobs, see, these are traditional jobs where taxes are already withheld. So, examples would include if you're working at a restaurant or you have a retail side hustle, taxes that are removed already from paycheck to paycheck, that's something to keep track of. That's different than 1099 income. For independent contractor gigs like commercials sometimes or freelance acting jobs, taxes aren't withheld, meaning you'll owe on this income at tax time. Let's talk about cash payments. Sometimes you're going to get a cash payment. Even if you're paid in cash, it's taxable income. So I suggest you keep a record of these earnings. Consider quarterly payments. Listen, if you are constantly earning 1099 income, you might need to pay estimated taxes. That would happen quarterly, and that is in place so you will avoid penalties. So here's a pro tip. Set aside 25 to 30% of each 1099 paycheck in a separate savings account. So then you're going to be prepared at tax time. You're not going to take a hit because of that 1099 income. We're going to continue the conversation right after this. Are you wishing for acting success? Are you ready with audition techniques for theater, film, and television? Are you ready with proven methods for growing your talent? Are you ready to boost your business? It would help if you had a playbook to guide you. Now, there's Jeff's Jots, the actor's career playbook by Jeffrey Dreisbach. Jeff's Jots at Amazon.com, castingactorscast.com, available in paperback, hardcover, or ebook. Stop wishing and start doing with Jeff's Jots, the actor's career playbook. So let's move on from there. I know this freaks out a lot of people. So let me just allay, to the best of my abilities, some of those fears that you might have. And we're calling it Avoid the IRS Spotlight. I think the word audit can freak a lot of people out. So here are some tips to avoid an audit. So let's just say this. The IRS may not send casting calls to you, but they're always looking for performers who break the rules. So here's how to avoid being flagged for an audit. First and foremost, be accurate. Be honest. You do that by matching your documents. Ensure that your reported income matches your W-2s, 1099, and other official documents. Avoid inflating deductions. That's probably one of the biggest no-nos, is don't claim personal expenses as business expenses. For example, your everyday clothes or a family Netflix account doesn't work. That's a biggie. As long as you keep detailed records, because the IRS loves receipts. So hold on to them for at least 3 years and document the purpose of each expense. Like, for example, for mileage, keep a log that includes dates and destinations and the purpose of the travel. Moving on from there, don't forget to file on time. Missing deadlines or filing late can raise red flags very, very quickly. If you need more time, you can simply file for an extension. But remember that taxes owed are still due by the April deadline. So you're welcome to file an extension, but if you know you're going to owe something, you need to nip that in the bud with that April filing. All right. Of course, you probably figured this was coming, but if this is really hard for you, if this is confusing for you, if you just don't know where to start, why not consider working with a tax professional who knows the biz? Taxes for actors can definitely be complex, so consider hiring a tax preparer or a CPA. a certified public accountant who specializes in the entertainment industry. Here's why a specialist matters. They'll know all the industry specific deductions and help ensure your return is accurate and ta-da, audit proof. So you have to simply do your homework. Before hiring someone, ask if they've worked with actors before. That's an obvious kind of thing, right? You know to do that. But it also could be helpful to get reviews from other performers who've used that tax person. Stay ahead of the game. The best way to reduce stress is to stay proactive throughout the year. Set up a system. Block time monthly to update your records and categorize expenses. I also think you could budget for taxes, treat taxes like any other expense. By saving a portion of your earnings, you're going to avoid scrambling when payments are due. You could educate yourself a little bit more by taking the time to learn the basics of taxes so you feel confident managing your finances. It's kind of interesting. It's a challenge to do your own return. There's no question. But staying ahead of the game by learning as much as you can is going to serve you big time. Here's some final thoughts. Keep it simple. Stay organized. Taxes may not be the most glamorous part of acting, but you know what? They're an essential part of managing your career. By staying organized, taking advantage of deductions, and being honest with the IRS, you can keep more of your hard-earned money and avoid unnecessary stress. The bottom line, treat your finances with the same care and creativity you bring to your craft. That's a great tip, right? Break a leg, both on stage and in your tax prep. I'm Jeffrey Dreisbach. This is Casting Actors Cast. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much.
It's been great having you in our talent pool today. Your support means the world to us, so please consider sharing, liking, and reviewing this episode wherever you jump in. I'm Megan Grace Martinez. Thanks.
From monologue